Okay, this is the second sheet for the procurement something that was here's what I did over here. I added a custom column that is for November. I added this just this one date of 24 November for the week that is in November, and 1st December for the week that is in December. So just to get an idea of the week this data is from. So I added a bit of cleaning on this one's from November, followed the same steps for December, and then appended the data into same sheet. Moving on, I grouped the data according to the dates and then their buyers, and it counted the PRs assigned for it. So this one for 24 November is actually for the week in November that you had the data for, and this 1st December is for the December data. So we might want to edit it later, so it won't be grouping according to the date. We might want to look into that, so we can group it according to the just the buyer's name. Anyways, moving on to appended POs issued. This one works in a similar manner. It groups the buyer names and then their purchase order, and just to see if there are uh, multiple entries for for a same purchase order. So you can see here there are some purchase orders with multiple entries. uh, we want to look into that deeper, so we moved on to comparing that against their purchase requests. So this one is the final metric for this purchase orders against purchase requests. It doesn't group according to the date, so we have gotten rid of the issue that I discussed earlier over here. Yeah, this issue, this query deals with the issue that we discussed earlier. I've just added it. We might want to get rid of this. We might want to get rid of this as well as this query over here. Anyways, explaining that again. Purchase orders against purchase requests. This one groups according to the buyer. First groups according to the buyer, then sees the similar purchase requests, and then groups them according to the purchase order. I hope I'm making any sense, but you can see that there are some of the purchase orders which have the value 2, means that some purchase requests had multiple purchase orders. And then this I have added this custom column over here with the title unconverted PRs. This one is for where I could find nulls or dashes in purchase orders, but there was a value in purchase request, so I made it give an output of unconverted. So you can go ahead and look into this. I'm explaining this over here in Power Query, and there will be another video where I explain all of this in the spreadsheet, so it might be easier to understand for you then. I will record that later, but first let me summarize what I have done over here in the Power Query. Some of these steps are extra, and I will go ahead and remove those when I clean this data. So let me explain this merge one query over here. What it's doing over here is that we had this appended data that was for November and December, right? And then I added these columns, particularly POs against PRs and unconverted PRs in this merge one query. You can see over here I've just added these extra columns into the original data, POs against PRs and unconverted PRs. And then the main part that was actually quite long was adding this status column. This is the custom code for it. You might not, I don't expect you to understand it, nor you need to understand it, but let me just give you an overview of what's happening over here. um, right, so this status over here, I might need to clean it, but let me just go ahead and explain what's going on over here. uh, First, this status column goes ahead and look into this node column. If there's any value that is not a null and not done, then it will not a null, not done, and not a blank over here, like this minus sign over here. If these conditions are satisfied, it will catch this value and then move it into the status column. I'm not quite sure right now. Alright, never mind, let me go ahead and explain what's going on. This node, if there's a value in node that is not null and not a done and not a dash, it will store it into the status column, right? Now moving on to this column over here, follow with warehouse. Follow with warehouse, the same logic. If it is not done, or if it is not a minus sign or a blank, and if it is not a null, then it will capture this value warehouse, from here warehouse into this status column, right, like this over here warehouse. The same goes for the next columns. These are for waiting for approval. Waiting for approval, let me see. Alright, I will have to clean this waiting for approval, and it hasn't recorded that over here. The reason might be because something might have happened over here in follow with warehouse or in the node column, as those are being seen first. I will just go ahead and clean it. Okay, now for waiting for approval, it will do that not done and not a dash and anything like that. Yeah, I see the problem over here. It is waiting for approval is not, syntax is incorrect. Like I might have done it for a double P R O V A L. Right, so that might be a problem. I just figured it out. And then moving on to the finance department. For finance department, if it is not done, if it is not minus, and if it is not credit, and if it is not null, it will capture the value over here into the status column. The same goes for follow with supplier. For invoice, yeah, that's it from this so far. And let me just go ahead and clean this data further and update you with a second video that might be coming from the spreadsheet. Thank you.